Hey there, this is Death Star Killer, and this week I'm going to be looking at...
Aaron.
And this week
Aaron.
God?
You should be making a video listing your favorite movie from every year you've been alive.
That's actually a good idea.
I know. Actually, I got the idea from these two most excellent dudes.
Bill and Ted?
No, Stephen and Eric. Sorry. That would be Chop Tunes and the Unapologetic Geek. People should bow their heads in shame if they haven't subscribed to them. Rules. 1 movie per year, no mention of runners-up, so no Megaforce.
Oh, so just my favorite movies, not what I consider to be the best. Okay, let's do it. 1973, Magnum Force. Actually my favorite Dirty Harry movie, and I love the first one.
There are killers on the loose, dressed like cops, and they always use a Magnum. They call him Dirty Harry, and he likes to do things his way. Whenever there's trouble, they always call in Harry, because they know he'll do the job.
Man's got to know his limitations.
1974, The Taking of Pelham 123.
Your attention, please. Now then, you'll all remain seated. Anybody who tries to rise is going to get shot. I do hope I have made myself understood.
The city of New York is given 1 hour to come up with $1 million ransom.
You're out of your skull.
All units stand by on a double.
What's up, Z?
A train's been hijacked.
Walter Matthau, Robert Shaw. The most spectacular hijack in history. The Taking of Pelham 123.
1975, Jaws.
It is as if God created the devil and gave him jaws.
1976, Assault on Precinct 13.
It's terror in the night. It's the most shattering assault on a police station in history. Assault on Precinct 13.
If somebody forgets to put the raspberry on your ice cream cone, don't go back for it.
Hey, this is regular vanilla. I wanted vanilla twist.
1977, what do you think it is? Star Wars. To this day, I still consider that movie to be called Star Wars, but it's since become Star Wars: A New Hope. I was 4 when I saw it. I was brought to the cinema. I still remember seeing Darth Vader on the big screen for the first time and being completely blown away. 1978, Superman the movie. Christopher Reeves, for me, will always be the quintessential Superman.
His name is Kal-El. He will call himself Clark Kent. But the world will know him as Superman. This year, Superman brings you the gift of flight. Superman, the movie.
1979, Alien. The best production design on any movie ever, as far as I'm concerned. If you haven't seen Alien, just stop playing this video right now and go watch it, okay? '80, Flash Gordon. It's crazy. I just love it. Every time I watch it, I just have a big smile on my face from beginning to end. Oh man, I just want to watch all these again as I'm listing them out.
Pathetic earthlings! Who can save you now? Yes!
1981, Escape from New York. John Carpenter with a shoestring budget making something look just epic.
New York, 1997. The entire city is a walled maximum security prison.
I'm going in.
you?
Heard you were dead.
John Carpenter's Escape from New York. The greatest escape of them all is about to blow the future apart.
1982, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
I'll chase him round the moons of Nibia and round the Antares maelstrom and round perdition's flames before I give him up. I've done far worse than kill you. I've hurt you. And I wish to go on hurting you.
1983, Blue Thunder, the movie. The stunt work is excellent. You wouldn't get away with it today. In fact, as far as I remember, someone can correct me on this, it was the last time a movie was allowed fly helicopters for real around cities for movies, as in dangerously. Anyway, catch you later.
Roy Scheider is Frank Murphy, a lone wolf who's about to become a guinea pig.
I thought it was illegal to arm police helicopters.
Columbia Pictures presents Blue Thunder.
Wherever you look, the guns follow.
They had the ultimate weapon and the perfect plan. But Murphy stole their thunder.
1984, Ghostbusters. We're ready to believe you. This video is making me too happy. Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, they just play off each other so well. Not to mention Ernie Hudson, he's great too. But those three guys at the beginning, they're supposed to be like still in college. They're milking the system. Maybe they were in their late 20s or something, but they look like they're in their 30s. They look middle-aged as hell. And I just love the fact that this movie is about three middle-aged guys fighting ghosts. If it was made today, as in without any previous movies to back it up, and it was just for the first time Ghostbusters was being made, I bet you they wouldn't go with three middle-aged guys, and it would be like a really young, hip cast. So I just love that that's what it's about, and I've always loved that before I was even middle-aged, and now that I'm older, whatever.
Ghostbusters.
Hey, anybody see a ghost?
They catch the ghost that won't stay dead.
1985. This might surprise some people. Fright Night.
It knows that you know. You'll do anything to protect yourself, but it will do anything to protect its secret. Fright Night. If you love being scared, this could be the night of your life.
1986. We're back with another Kurt Russell movie, Big Trouble in Little China. Man, Jack Burton. Jack Burton is so much fun because he thinks he's the hero, but he's not. Jack Burton is the sidekick. It's his friend Wang Chi who's the hero. That's just brilliant. Making the movie about the sidekick, but that the sidekick thinks he's the hero, is genius. I don't think anything else has ever done it before.
They call it Little China. It's where Big Trouble was waiting for Jack Burton.
Who? Jack Burton. Me.
They told him to go to hell. And that's just where he's going.
1987, Predator. It's about time Arnie showed up on the list, isn't it? Predator scared me for years. Every time I heard that I would freak out if I was watching that on my own. But I went to the cinema to see that, and I actually had to bargain a little with the manager because he was like, you this is over 18s, you can't come in, you're 12. No, I was 14. Probably shouldn't have been as scared of it as I was. I remember being absolutely terrified from the moment they landed in the jungle till the end. I was covering my eyes so much, I didn't see how much cool action was happening. I remember I had a Twix, and for some reason I thought I'd eaten all the Twix, and I don't know why I didn't think of using my hands, but I thought it was a good idea to use the Twix wrapper to cover my eyes like this so that I wouldn't get too much nightmares from the movie, and then walking out being completely covered in chocolate. Like, that's very embarrassing. I shouldn't be telling people these things.
Deep in the jungle, where nothing that lives is safe.
Knock, knock.
An elite rescue squad is being led by the ultimate warrior. Nothing like it has ever been on Earth before. It sees the heat of our bodies and the heat of our fear. But this time, it's picked the wrong man to hunt.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Predator.
1988, Die Hard.
A New York cop, John McClane, has come to see his wife. Within this skyscraper high above the city, 12 terrorists have declared war. They're as brilliant as they are ruthless.
But I'm telling you, you're just gonna have to kill me. Okay.
He's an easy guy to like.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
And a hard man to kill. Bruce Willis, Die Hard.
1989, Batman. Man, I loved Batmania. Remember when they called it that? In 1989, when everywhere you looked, every shop was just filled to the brim with Batman stuff. I was completely addicted to the whole Batmania thing. I had a wall in my room covered in Batman stuff. I painted a bat sign on my bicycle, which was not considered cool because I was 16, cycling every day to secondary school with a bat sign painted on the saddle of my bicycle. I didn't give a shit.
Bruce Wayne.
And what do you do for a living?
You look fine.
I didn't ask.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
1990, Tremors.
Perfection. A scorched outpost in the middle of nowhere. Maybe that's why Val and Earl decided to leave town. They just picked the wrong day to do it. Now, it's up to Val and Earl to save the world. Tremors.
1991, The Last Boy Scout. This is actually my favorite Bruce Willis movie. Always has been. I love private detective movies, and this is one of the best. Joe Hallenbeck is a great character. I just love the way he wakes up in the car at the beginning and looks himself in the mirror and says, "Everybody hates you. Nobody loves you. You're gonna lose. Smile, you fuck."
Joe Hallenbeck's a private detective who's run out of luck.
If you touch me again, I'll kill you.
Now,
Son, we're going to a ball game.
they've got one shot.
What am I gonna do? Point at the bad guys and shoot!
This once, I would like to hear you scream.
Play some rap music.
The Last Boy Scout.
1992, Hard Boiled. That opening scene with the crazy shootout in the, I think it's a restaurant, and then Chow Yun-fat falls back on his back like this against the railing of the stairs, and then starts sliding down with two handguns shooting all the way down. 1993, Hard Target. I'm a big Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, and I just think that is the best vehicle out of all of his movies. Just for him, for his fun, for his over-the-top choreography, those mad kicks, kicking a guy off a motorbike, standing on a motorbike and shooting. Oh, it's just so silly. It's so silly and so much fun. The part where he's wearing a long trench coat and in slow motion, he pulls back his trench coat like a gunslinger would to show his gun, but this is just to show his leg because he's going to start kicking. That cracks me up every time.
There's a new game in town. The competitors are deadly, and they always win. Now, the opposition is about to get one last chance.
What kind of a name is Chance?
My mama took when?
Our friend Mr. Boudreaux. He's obviously not someone we should underestimate.
Jean-Claude Van Damme is the hard target. Hard target.
1994, Speed. Man, the 90s loved action movies, didn't they? All the big blockbusters in the 90s were action movies. We don't get that anymore. I miss that.
He can strike anywhere, at any time.
Will the mystery guest please sign in?
Pop quiz, hotshot.
There's a bomb on a bus. Once the bus goes 50 miles an hour, the bomb is armed. If it drops below 50, it blows up. What do you do? What do you do?
Now, he's the only solution.
We just got a ransom demand from your terrorist. Says he's rigged the city bus. Where's Jack?
Where do you think?
Speed.
1995, Seven. I think it traumatized me. Sure, we'd had Silence of the Lambs and we had Manhunter, but Seven was like, it was one of those movies turned up to 11.
Detective William Somerset is looking for a way out. Detective David Mills is looking for a way in. Now they're caught in a game.
No fingerprints and no witnesses of any kind.
Where the price of sin is death.
He's 2 murders away from completing his masterpiece.
7.
1996, Independence Day. That speech gets me every time. I'm such a silly person that I didn't care what anyone thought. And years ago, maybe 1999 or 2000, I had to do a monologue as part of a drama course I was doing. And I did this speech from Independence Day. Still makes me laugh to this day that I had to be graded by like actual drama teachers on doing the speech from Independence Day. Oh, I cracked myself up.
Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
'97, Starship Troopers. Medic! '98, Deep Rising. This movie is almost like a John Carpenter movie that isn't a John Carpenter movie. You've got so many great one-liners from Treat Williams, and then you've got some great comic moments with his sidekick. And there's an explosion at the end of this movie that is just one of the best explosions in any movie ever.
They answered a distress call.
Where the hell is everybody?
Now, they're dead in the water.
What the hell is that?
The girl from Ipanema.
I don't mean to sound like a wuss, but this is starting to freak me out, man.
Deep Rising.
1999, The Matrix. Just one of those movies like Hard Boiled or Die Hard. One of those movies that just changes all the other action movies and movies in general for the next few years.
Have you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real?
What if you were unable to wake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world?
So what do you mean? Guns. Lots of guns.
2000, Snatch.
What do I know about diamonds? I'm a boxing promoter.
I've got a bare knuckle fight, so I want to use the pikey.
Concentrate.
What? You're going to have to repeat that.
Concentrate. What? What's a gun doing in your trousers? For protection. Protection from what? The Germans.
Stylish house frame furniture and scarf cushions with matching chocolate clothing.
2001, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. I am not a massive Lord of the Rings fan, but I think the first movie is fantastic.
There's something down there. Precious.
Are you frightened?
Yes.
Not nearly frightened enough.
2002, Blade 2.
Now, those he has sworn to kill need his help to fight a new breed of terror.
Not know who you are messing with!
Blade 2.
2003, Kill Bill Volume 1. I don't actually like Volume 2, but Volume 1 is just an absolute spectacle of martial arts craziness.
Silly Caucasian girl likes to play with samurai swords.
Yeah. Any more subordinates for me to kill?
Hi.
Hmm.
You didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you?
For a second there? Yeah. I kind of did.
2004, Collateral.
I got 5 stops to make.
What's your name?
Max.
Max. I'm Vincent.
We're in plan B. Now we gotta make the best of it. Improvise, adapt to the environment. Whatever, man, we gotta roll with it. Slow down! Stupid!
2005, Batman Begins. I don't love The Dark Knight. I don't love The Dark Knight Rises. But I think Batman Begins is fantastic. Everyone's brilliant. Okay, the end is a little muddled, but there's so much good stuff. That whole opening sequence with him going out into the world to learn martial arts, that's just epic stuff.
My parents deserve justice. I cannot let that pass.
If you make yourself more than just a man, then you become something else entirely.
2006, Casino Royale. And I can't believe there hasn't been a Bond movie on my list up to now. There almost has been a few times.
It doesn't bother you, killing those people.
Well, I wouldn't be very good at my job if it did.
In time.
2007, Hot Fuzz. It has an amazing cast. It has an amazing idea. Everyone is brilliant. Oh man, just go check it out. Go watch it now. Go watch all of these now.
Now, this big city cop.
You ever fired 2 guns whilst jumping through the air?
No.
You ever fired 1 gun whilst jumping through the air?
No. Must learn how to think small, but in a place where not much goes on. A whole lot is about to go down. From the guys who watched every action movie ever made. Oh, yeah! When the heat is on. Here come the fuzz. You gotta call the fuzz.
Gunfights, car chases, and that's what I'm talking about.
Hot Fuzz.
2008, Step Brothers. My favorite Will Ferrell comedy. Him and John C. Reilly are just so much fun together. And then his parents, oh man, I love this movie so much. Oh, this is a house of learned doctors. You're not a doctor, you're just a curly-haired fuck.
What if you and Dale get along great?
You better not get in my face, because I'll drop that motherfucker.
Are you awake? Yeah. I hate your guts. If you have difficulty breathing, that's me holding a pillow on your face. Okay, name your favorite dinosaur. Velociraptor.
All right. If you were a chick, who's the one guy you'd sleep with?
John Stamos.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
I think they're starting to like each other.
Can we turn our beds into bunk beds?
Yes.
This is the funnest night ever. This is how we do it. The bunk beds were a terrible idea. Why did you let us do that?
2009, District 9.
We're coming to you from the entrance of District 9, the refugee camp set up to separate aliens from the general population.
(2010) Scott Pilgrim, Edgar Wright again. I cannot believe that this movie bombed. I just love all the video game stuff in this, the scores on things, the sound effects. I love that if you didn't know what it was when you first see it, you just think it's a regular comedy, maybe a music comedy for a while until that first act turns into a big fight.
Scott Pilgrim?
Hi, I was thinking about asking you out, but then I realized how stupid that would be. Come to this Battle of the Bands thing.
You have a band?
Yeah, we're terrible.
Mr. Pilgrim! Wait, Scott Pilgrim!
Prepare to feel the wrath of the League of Evil Exes.
What are you doing?
Getting a life.
You want to fight me for her? Why on earth would you want to do that?
Because I'm in love with her.
Scott Pilgrim versus the world.
2011. Not a popular choice by a lot of people. Captain America, the First Avenger. I just loved that kind of Saturday morning serial vibe it had. Kind of like Indiana Jones and The Rocketeer.
You just don't know when to give up, do you? I could do this all day.
He will be the first in a new breed of super soldiers.
How do you feel?
Taller.
2012, 21 Jump Street. An absolute brilliant comedy. The chemistry between Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill is just brilliant. I wish those two had just continued making movies for years. They could have been the Simon Pegg and Nick Frost of America.
You're ready for a lifetime of being badasses.
Oh, I am.
I thought this job would have more car chases and explosions.
Where do we report to?
Down on Jump Street. 21 Jump Street.
A lot of things that made me wonder about you. Your taste in music. The fact that you look like a 40-year-old man.
Let me check out your chest. Check out your tab.
Will you go to prom with me?
2013, Pacific Rim. I don't care what anyone says, I love this movie. Big giant robots beating up big giant aliens. Once it's done right, I'll watch that any day.
In order to fight monsters, we created monsters of our own.
The edge of our hope. The end of our time. We've chosen to believe in each other. Today we face the monsters that are at our door. Today we are canceling the apocalypse.
Pacific Rim.
2014, The Guest. Probably isn't a popular choice by a lot of people, but if you haven't seen it, go check it out. This movie is one of the few movies that shifts between genres seamlessly. It's a thriller. It's a bit of a high school thing. It's a horror. It's an action movie. This is real John Carpenter stuff.
What happened?
I got into a fight with some guys at school.
I'll teach him some self-defense when he's feeling up to it. Well, what are you gonna do? Nothing bad.
savages.
Afraid I haven't been fully honest with you.
(2015) Furious 7. That's right, Fast and the Furious 7. I love these movies. In fact, I love all of them except for number 2 and number 9. Dropped the ball on the 2 of them, but the rest of them I just love. And I love the fact that from, it kind of started in the 4th one, but from the 5th one, they just became what I consider to be massive budget episodes of the A-Team. With vehicles being thrown around the place and people being thrown around the place and half the time them not dying. Yeah, it doesn't take itself seriously unless it's talking about family.
Just when you didn't think it could get any better, huh? Here we go. Oh, shit. Daddy's gotta go to work. This is a world that doesn't play by your rules.
(2016) Star Wars Rogue One. This is like an old school war movie set in the Star Wars world. One hell of a grim ending and one of the best Darth Vader scenes.
A major weapons test is imminent. We need to know how to destroy it.
There isn't much time.
Every day they grow stronger.
This is our chance to make a real difference.
(2017) Blade Runner 2049. This could have been a big miss. I don't think it did too well in the cinemas, but man, it should have. It's such a beautiful looking movie.
There is an order to things.
That's what we do here. We keep order.
They know you're here.
(2018) Mandy. I did not know what to make of this when I first watched it. All I know is it just blew me away.
His fist closed around the serpent's eye.
You're a special one, Mandy.
So what you gonna do with that thing?
I'm going hunting.
So what you hunting?
It's crazy evil. Oh, man. Very wrong with you. You exceed the cosmic darkness.
Strange and eternal.
2019 Avengers Endgame. Marvel did it. They said they were going to make a cinematic universe and tell this one big story, and they pulled it off with a great ending in Infinity War and Endgame. I'd really grown to care about all those characters over the 10 years or so beforehand. Sure, they've been all over the place, I think, since, but this was perfect.
Thanos did exactly what he said he was going to do. He wiped out 50% of all living creatures.
2020, The Invisible Man.
What happened to him?
Adrian's dead.
Listen, you're getting your freedom back, okay?
He said that wherever I went, he would find me. Walk right up to me, and I wouldn't be able to see him.
Let me help you.
You can't help me.
Surprise.
2021. I'm gonna go with Ghostbusters Afterlife because of how it made me feel. There's a part near the end of that 3 for 3. I've watched it 3 times, and all 3 times I've teared up a little bit.
There hasn't been a ghost sighting in 30 years. New York in the 80s? It's like The Walking Dead. Your dad never mentioned this to you?
It's just my mom.
Call it fate. Call it luck. Call it karma. I believe that everything happens for a reason. Come on, darling.
It has a gunner seat?
So 2022. You know what? For 2022, I'm not going to go with Batman. I'm going to go with The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Nicolas Cage plays Nick Cage, hired by Pedro Pascal to come to his birthday party for $1 million. And all sorts of silliness ensues.
Nick Cage. God, this place is stunning. What is your favorite movie?
That's one of those questions that's impossible to answer.
You can't just limit it to one.
Imagine me and you, I do.
Is it too much? Is this supposed to be me? It's grotesque. I'll give you 20,000 for it.
Are those my golden guns?
They're my golden guns.
I don't want to kill you.
You're the last person I want to kill.
I love you. I love you.
I'm Nick.
Fuck it!
Whoa, Cage!
Now you.
Me?
No, you out there watching this. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Death Star Killer.
Thanks, God. Why not come up with your own list and put it in the comments? Or make a video yourself and stick that in the comments and I'll post it to my community tab.
Now, Alan, we need to talk about 1983, Blue Thunder.